All right. The world is healing, Kay. The world is healing, Sav. As of 22 minutes ago, Alyssa Mercante put out a tweet saying, after 2 years, I've decided to leave Kotaku and my role as senior editor. I am internally grateful for Kotaku's editorial team and all that they've taught me during my time there. They're some of the best in the business, and I'll be forever proud to have shared a masthead with them. They continuously fight to maintain the editorial pillars that make I'm sorry. That make great
He's getting so emotional, he's coughing up a lung.
Kotaku great and to hold on to their journalistic integrity in the face of increasing pressure to compromise that. What is she smoking? It's been a long few years during which I've learned a lot about myself and my value as both a woman
Wait a second.
and a writer. Yes.
Look at the third tweet down. This decision was made before the layoffs?
I think, yeah, there's more layoffs. It says hire the
They only
Willow
have
Row.
7 people working there.
Hold on. There must be more to this. We're uncovering this as we go. All right. This is the right decision for me. I have some things coming down the pike. So keep your eyes peeled. How long before there's some sort of OnlyFans?
So I know that she has been trying to kiss ass to Hassan, and I know that she kissed ass to Dr. Cowart. Dr. Cowart is, of course, very well connected. She has access to so many individuals around the world. So I'm not too sure if this. I don't know. That third tweet is way more important than what the hell she just said. I don't give a shit about what she just said.
Right.
But that third one is more important. Did they just announce layoffs today?
I believe they did.
I can't find anything though.
Somebody else was just laid off. The person that she tweeted about also posted. They said, "Hey, let me share this one as well. Hey, I was just laid off from Kotaku. Don't know what's next for me." That's Willow Row. So that person was laid off as well. So is Kotaku?
There's no announcements from Kotaku from their Twitter or their website.
Well, you need to look for the writers themselves because I guarantee that they're going in. So she decided to leave before this.
Possibly. We don't know.
Right.
But that's interesting because I think most of us were saying that Kotaku wouldn't survive the year. And if I think Endymion was the one who specifically said if Trump is elected, then they'll scuttle it.
Fascinating stuff. So here's why.
Don't call me on that if it was Endymion or not. It was one of the, because they focus more on talking about this kind of thing too. But
okay, so here we have Ethan Gash, senior reporter Kotaku, retweeting the same thing. Absolute Scenes, as an editor at a publication, emails me to say they discussed my pitch in their editorial meeting. The senior editor then went and commissioned someone else to do it late that day, and they're really sorry about that. I don't really know what that's about. Seems like everyone's getting laid off. Is this the end of Kotaku? Ooh. Dun.
I don't think this is the end yet. Because here's the thing. They did hire their new editor-in-chief not too long ago. And I think what's happening here is this is the beginning of the shift for Kotaku, the shift to guides that they talked about. And the people who are either being fired or are leaving, in this case, with quotations, they are the people who are getting fired are not deemed either they have enough skill or value to continue with from a guide perspective.
Problem children.
Yes, and those who are quote unquote leaving don't like the direction of where it's going, aka guides. So when that news initially, and by the way, I'm all total speculation here, right? But when that news came down, what was it, 3, 4, 5 months ago about Kotaku potentially shutting down, they got a lifeline of like, hey, let's see if we can right the ship. Well, guess what? They didn't right the ship. And this is what's happening. Layoffs because of it. And now this is the start to the shift to guides. And I think this makes sense because you have new games coming out for the fourth quarter and they want to get those guides out to maximize for the traffic and the ad revenue for the fourth quarter, which is traditionally higher than the other months because there's a bigger spend in the fourth quarter from advertising agencies, because that's when a lot of money spent. So, wow. So Alyssa Mercante, no longer with Kotaku, no longer a video game journalist.
So she still writes independently for some other outlets, I think, because she lists them in her bio. So I'm not too sure how all that stuff works. So I'm sure she'll still do that.
She's not going to disappear. Like, we've seen this before. We saw this in 2014, 2015 as well. As soon as they started losing the culture war, they would all just get really quiet. Everybody on this side would think that it's a victory, and then they would just go and sneak around. And now we're seeing the same people resurface again. So this is a cycle that happens every few years. We're going to see this again. She's going to show up again for sure. This is not the end of her.
Well, of course, because all of her friends work in the industry, right? And
Exactly.
you're right. She'll get hired by somebody along the way.
They'll build new companies. They'll find new ways to insert themselves in the industry and twist it even more. Like, yeah, people might feel like this is a victory of some sorts, but to me, it's not, because it's just
arguably
end up somewhere else.
The best outcome, though, is I'm a big supporter of everybody should have the ability to write and pursue, creativity as they so please. The best possible outcome would actually be her and people like her going off and just doing their own thing, staying in their lane, not demanding change from anybody else, but go make your own thing. You want to go have a crazy podcast where you talk about fucking antelopes? Go for it. I support you in that endeavor. You want to look at turtle dick all day? Go for it. That's great for you. Just don't ask everyone else to partake in the turtle dickage. That's all. I don't think that's hard. Go have fun.
I do think that there's room across the internet for all sorts of voices. And I think that's where the difference is that if you want to talk about turtle dicks, you talk about turtle dicks, right? Just don't talk about turtle dicks in this space.
Yeah, don't ask Nintendo to put the turtle dick into the game with the turtle that you want to see the dick of.
Right. And can we also, leaving with immense class along the way, with the tweet, also kiss my ass. Just a woman who reeks of class along the way.
I just couldn't imagine a company actually hiring her, given that is her exit statement.
Yeah.
Like if I was a hiring manager, just objectively speaking, why would you hire somebody like that with that kind of attitude? Like, what is the value there? How does this put forth effort and drive? How does this say, you know what, this person's definitely going to make make choices that are in the best interest of the company? Because that's what you do. When you work for somebody, you're not working for yourself. You're working for them to bring their vision to life, whatever it is.
Sure.
Whether it's a simple product, a stuffed animal, a video game, or a website where you're publishing stories. Why objectively would anybody hire somebody who puts out this kind of an attitude as an exit statement?
Yeah, and here's the thing about this is she is she tested the waters with her Twitch streaming, right? Right now, I haven't watched any of her streams, right? I don't watch her. She's probably watching right now. Hi, Alyssa. Good to see you. With that said, we don't watch your stuff, right? You have 1.3 thousand followers on Twitch. Her last stream 8 days ago has 800, 900 views.
What's her Twitch username? Is it the same as her Twitter?
Alyssa Merc. Right?
With the underscore?
No.
Okay, no underscore. Because I'll look at her analytics.
But yeah, but she tested the waters. Either I think that she saw the writing on the wall, which is why she decided to split off and start the Twitch channel. Hey, I'm starting up the Twitch channel. So head on over there and become a big supporter. I'm going to be talking about it and no one in the chuds and all along the lines. She says there's things coming down the line. Sure. Great. Show it, do it. I think what realistically is probably going to happen is she probably ends up in some sort of consultancy agency or working in PR and within the industry. That's where a lot of journalists end up, consultancies or working as PR. So
I know it's funny that we just all got unblocked on Twitter, but she actually properly unblocked me because I can see all of her stuff and I can comment and quote tweet and everything. So she actually went out of her way to go and unblock me. That's weird.
I know she unblocked me a while ago, but the other thing too, after Trump was announced president. She said something about, they need to be more extreme, to go more left. That tweet was floating around.
Mhm.
And then she said, "Oh, it's all connected to nerds or something. Like our sphere somehow had any realistic impact on it. Like we somehow as gamers encouraged the Amish to go out who voted for a completely separate reason. Like that. Look, I love a good conspiracy board. All right, I love taking crazy ideas and trying to find a social connection. We didn't do this. All right. We did not shift the election. We didn't encourage anybody who wasn't going to already vote for for whoever through gaming. We didn't do any of that. We didn't have that impact.
You know who did? But can I be honest and be very
Yes.
blunt about who did change the election? They did.
Yeah. I was going to say
They did. Yeah, they did. They're the ones who threw out this bullshit that people rejected to have court, like Dikembe fucking Mutombo. They had no interest in any of it, and they've shown it through their wallets and now through their votes. So these people who, and we talked about this briefly yesterday, but these people who have been told yes and they haven't been told no for years, for the first time, are going like, what? This is different. This is not right. How could this be? And this is a great example of that along the way. These people have lived in such a bubble. They live on Reddit. They don't experience real life outside of their bubble cities, and they don't realize that nobody thinks this way. And ultimately, they're the ones pushing the stuff, and we are the ones, the customer, who is saying no. And not just from a spending perspective, but from a consuming perspective, from a consuming Kotaku perspective. Because once again, their traffic went from here to there, and that's on the writers. And if you're the senior editor, it's on you. So, Kay, I'm sure you have something on this. What you got, Kay?
Man, I don't know. Kotaku's going to continue to be the same way it is too. Like these people are dime a dozen. But Savvy, to what you're saying, like why she's doing this, it's because she knows controversy creates cash. Like this whole thing has kept her whole thing afloat, and now she's seeing the tide, and she's going to keep acting like that and saying things like "kiss my ass" because people are going to follow that, and there will be someone that will hire her, even if it's temporary, just to get that attention on them for a little bit, to get themselves on the map, and then maybe she'll leave and go somewhere else. I think she's found her spot. She understands that she can get rage out of people, and that's really what her game is at this point. Doesn't matter what she does or anything, if she has any gaming knowledge, nothing. It's just how many gamers can I get angry? She knows she can push those buttons. So to me, that's her play here, is she's leaving and saying, "Kiss my ass, I'm going to jump to another ship," wherever it may be.
Yeah,
Right.
speaking of, so I've got her just base level analytics pulled up on Solinome. It looks like she had one very generous host from a channel, but her average viewership is roughly 90. So I did it for 180 days. That covers 10 streams. Because of the generous host that she had, that put her peak viewership at 1,400. She gained about 900, almost 1,000 followers from whatever that was. So that would have been who stuck around after the 10-minute mark.
Right.
She, on average, gets anywhere between 9 followers to 20 followers, with an average viewership of 90. So in 180 days, she streamed for a total of 36 hours. Which, if
Probably
you're
not
trying,
probably not enough to make a living on, though, I would imagine. Especially,
no, God, no. But like, so I don't know. I don't know what her schedule looks like. But I mean, if she's making a shift into streaming to try to be her own brand, which is a better route to go for most people. Working for an outlet these days is not going to pay you unless you're in a power position. It's not going to pay you well. You're grinding away. You're doing shit that you don't want to do. She would need to stream a lot more though to make that be valuable.
right.
But I mean, it's not a terrible start, but it's not. I don't know how many people are hate watching.
Oh,
Like, who's actually watching to support her versus who's just hate watching? And I hate that that's a thing.
right.
I don't think people are hate watching her. I think they'll laugh at the clips and stuff. I
Yeah.
think Twitter, it's easier for her to pull a response out of people and for them to get mad. So I think Twitter is still going to be her main place to go. And like I said, she'll find another ship to go to, another platform, a Polygon or whatever, and they'll get their clicks for it for a bit on their website, and she'll generate it, and then she'll move and she'll keep moving. But that game doesn't work well for you because eventually people get sick of you and there's nowhere for you to go, and you've ruined your own reputation. So she's doing this on a short gain, but long term, this is not going to work out.
No, you have to keep ramping it up. The reason why dumpster fires don't typically last long and they always taper off is just because they have to keep upping the ante. Look at Ice Poseidon. The guy could have
Right.
killed himself with what he put himself through just to entertain chat, because it always had to be something more, something worse, or something crazier. That's why he got swatted so much, because that's just what people wanted to watch him suffer. That's it.
Well,
And
look,
that's not fun. That's not healthy. It doesn't matter how much money that you're making. That's not
right.
okay.
And there's a lot to that, right? The idea that when you're a bit, when your whole identity is built around being a bit, it will eventually be toxic, and you can't top yourself at all. Like, yeah, we have bits on the show, the $50 donations and stuff like that, but the show itself is not a bit. Alyssa Mercante is a bit, right? She is a bit. She wants to fight you if you don't agree with her. She literally wants to get in the boxing ring with people until they actually say yes. Like, that's a bit. So yeah, bits flame out and they get old. And
Yeah, and then constantly, and then the sending out the legal thing, but then still antagonizing the people that she just claims to want to be left alone from.
right.
Like it, at some point, you gotta do something for you.
Well, maybe this is the first step for Mercante to do that. Good luck to that. Good luck to her. Don't let the door hit you on the way fucking out.